What's going on, MSFers? Duelim here, back again with another video, and today we're going to be looking at all of the Dark Promotion and Dark Diamond credit characters, and I'm going to be ranking them where you should be upgrading them until, and then if you have some excess, where you should be using that excess. So first up is going to be Black Knight. Now, Black Knight has been a character that has been extremely potent on defense since his release. He was an arena meta character and then turned into an absolute unit in pretty much every game mode, War, Cosmic Crucible, everything like that. So for Black Knight, he's also been extremely helpful on offense lately to take out Kahoris, because Kahoris in the game takes 2 turns, obviously, so Black Knight's been really good. I would recommend a lot of people taking him to 2 diamond, but he's going to be a very high 2 diamond. I personally have him at 3 diamond because I have had extra diamonds because I've been pretty stingy about them, and I got all the way up to 30,000 dark diamonds, so I used some on him to bring him up to 3 diamond, but I think most people should probably stop at 2 diamond for him. For Big Time Spider-Man, I feel like Big Time Spider-Man is going to be kind of interesting because he's had some uses, but he's losing a lot of his valor for sure. I feel like I have him at 7 red, and I'm happy with him at 7 red, so I'm going to leave him there. He's going to be probably on the lower end of 7 red, but he's definitely still a good character. Takes out pre-taunts really quickly. Can also remove revives with his special. The problem is with new stat characters, his special usually gets resisted a lot, so that's not the best. So yeah, he's really just there to take out pre-taunts, and that's what I've been using him for. All right, Captain Britain. That's right, Captain Brexit. So Captain Britain is obviously paywalled, still paywalled for a lot of people. No diamonds available for him for us plebs. But my recommendation immediately, the second he's available, is 3 diamond. Second he's available. I have 20,000 dark diamond credits just ready to go just for him. The second he is ready to go, I'm taking his ass up because he is absolutely nuts, and putting him at 3 diamond does change a lot of things. It changes counters. It makes it so you can't one-shot Captain Britain with the Infinity Watch snipe when he's got Black Bolt there. There's just a lot of nuances when you have a 3 diamond Captain Britain. So it is definitely really nice to have him. That is going to be my plan. For the general masses, I would probably say stop around 7-ish, maybe 1 diamond. He would definitely be above Big Time Spider-Man. But that means you need the yellows, and we don't have the yellows yet. So we're getting there. Hopefully, one day. I haven't been told anything. Next up, Scarlet Witch Zombie, and she's going to be the newest Undying member, and she is really good. She does a lot of damage. She also has new stats. She is kind of kit-based, though, because she stops turn meter as long as she's above 50% health, but she does need to be above 50% health. So for Zombie Scarlet Witch, I have her at 2 yellow, 0 red. I'll probably stop at 5 red for her. At most, honestly, if there was a lower tier, I'd probably stop at like 4 red for her, or I'll just mirror my yellow stars and go however many yellow stars I have and maybe take her up as far as maybe 4 or 5 red, because I don't really care about War that much, and I haven't found really any uses for her in Cosmic Crucible. Now, if you do care about War, I'd say probably take her up to 6 reddish maybe, but I don't really think she needs to be much bigger than that because her new stats are going to carry her. Also, most of us don't have that option to take her up to 6 red that already don't have her at 6 red, because I don't even think her reds are available in the Elite store. Her yellow stars are obviously nowhere to be found because she's an epic character. So yeah, I'm probably going to leave her. I'll probably leave her at 6 red just for the War likers that may watch my content. Next up is Zombie Juggernaut. Zombie Juggernaut is great. He's a great pre-taunt. He's pretty strong. He did get a little bit of a stat boost when Zombie Scarlet Witch came out. With his charge mechanic, he gets like 30% damage for each charge he has, so he can have up to like 150% extra damage. So his damage gets pretty nutty, and he could delete some characters. I'm going to say let's put Zombie Juggernaut at 7 red here. I do have the 7 red ready to go for him. I think I'm like 82 shards short. Scopely, if you're watching this, can we make him farmable, please? It's been 15 months. That's not okay. So yeah, 7 red here for Zombie Juggernaut. I'd say for those who have less dark promotion credits, I'd say maybe stop at 6 red, maybe even 5 red. But he does have some pretty good uses even outside of war because he's a really good pre-taunt in Cosmic Crucible, but he's also just really, really strong. Next up, Zombie Iron Man. I ended up taking him to 7 red because, again, dark promotion credits are kind of a non-event for people who buy the battle passes, but for the general masses, I'd say leave him at 5 red. He's a stat-based character. Most of his damage comes from the enemies punching each other when they have bleed. So, and he's going to revive over and over and over again. So him dying really does not matter that much because he's just going to revive as long as there's not like a Mephisto on the board or anything like that. Now, one thing I will say about him is taking him up higher and higher, his damage is pretty good, even for an older stat character. I did think he got a little bit of a boost when Zombie Scarlet Witch came out. So I do like him at 7 red. Honestly, he has done some pretty good things for me, even in Cosmic Crucible, even in War. Obviously, War, where he's really, really good. He does some pretty damn good damage, honestly. So, you know what? I'm going to put him at 7 red, but I am going to put him under Zombie Juggernaut and above Big Time Spider-Man because he's more kit-based than Zombie Juggernaut is. So, yeah. As for Ultron, obviously, just bottom of the barrel, just not even a factor. Just bottom of the barrel. I mean, we don't even use Masters of Evil anymore. Moonstone is not even used anymore. Absorbing Man's really relegated to defense for a pre-taunt, and then Kang and Titania have just become part of the Cabal team, which is what we expected. So they're really not a team anymore. They have fallen out of favor big time. So yeah, don't bother with Ultron. Don't even put 5 red on him if you don't get the 5 red for free. I don't remember. I know we got free 7 reds on him a while ago, but if you're a newer player, don't bother. He's not great. Next up, Ultimus. And Ultimus is going to be our first 3 diamond. And the reason why is because he's so freaking cheap. He's like 600, 900, and 1200. Plus, he has new stats. Absolutely 3 diamond, this guy. He is so versatile. Plug and play. If you see a pre-taunt on the other side, you throw in Ultimus. Ultimus will almost always be one-shotting him. Even a 3 diamond Black Knight has been one-shotted by an Ultimus. So it's really, really useful to just absolutely shred people right away. You also have Gladiators who are always on defense. So if you pair them with an Ares or an APOC to take off that safeguard, you are getting off of that Gladiator pre-taunt really quickly. If there is a pre-taunt, he gets that 30% speed bar boost. So right off rip, he's going 30% faster, and he's already relatively fast at 121. So that 30% boost makes him go at like 156-ish, I think. So he's really, really good. So yeah, 3 diamond. That's my first 3 diamond that we're popping out here. Next up, we've got Super Skrull, and this is going to be a little bit of a shock to most of you guys. I was leaving him at 7 red, but then Scopely decided to give us 1 diamond on him for free, which outraged a lot of people. Not sure why. Free stuff is good. So for Sus, I would have kept him at 7 red. I would have never upgraded him. And the reason why is because a 7 red Sus compared to a 3 diamond Sus, I don't see much of a difference. APOC is still punching him just the same. Black Knight is still deleting him just the same. I saw no reason to put diamonds on Super Skrull. Now, I will say in room number 3 in Cosmic Crucible right now, when it rains, he is really, really good because he always has defense up, immunity safeguard, because he always has those positive effects. So the diamonds have affected him there, but I wouldn't say upgrading him for, I think it's 4,500 dark diamonds to 2 diamond, unless you have a lot left over. But what I would say is, if he's already at 1 diamond and you have a lot of diamonds left over, he could definitely be on the bottom of the 2 diamond list, but no chance he goes to 3 diamond. Next up, Odin. Now, I know Odin diamonds are not available for anybody, have not even been on the leaderboards yet, haven't even been on the Kraken leaderboards, the auction leaderboards, but Odin is absolutely going to 3 diamond the second you can. Odin is, without a shadow of a doubt, one of the best characters in the game. He can be countered, but if you can't get to him or you can't kill him fast enough, he is an absolute nuisance to deal with, and diamonds are just going to make him all that much better. He's just going to be disgusting. So I'm going to be putting him all the way at the top of my 3 diamond list so far. Odin is absolutely nuts. I would say once Captain Britain, and we'll talk about Old Man Logan now too to wrap this in. So for Old Man Logan, I'm also bringing to 3 diamond because I've saved up, and Old Man Logan has been absolutely essential for Cosmic Crucible. He's ridiculously good in war. He's just a great character overall. For most people, I would say he would be at the top of the 2 diamond list, but because I focus on Cosmic Crucible so much, and he's always going to be good in Cosmic Crucible, especially on offense, I'm going to take him to 3 diamond, but I would say he's at the top of the 2 diamond range. And that is because he's just so good. His turn meter mechanic, bleeds, claws out, trauma stun. He puts a revive on himself every time he uses his special. His turn meter mechanic, his energy mechanic. Like, there's just so many things that go into Old Man Logan. It's insane. So I'm saving for Old Man Logan and Captain Britain right now. And after I do these 2, I am straight saving for Odin. That is it. I am saving for Odin. And that brings me to my next character, which is Mephisto. Now, for Mephisto, this is going to be another kind of shock to a lot of you guys. Now, I have seen a lot of people asking, hey, where do we rank Mephisto up? Is it worth the 10,000 dark promotion credits to take Mephisto to 7 red? Is it worth it? And the answer is no. It's no. He's not. Because guess what? He's still going to get double sacked, just like normal. And when he's double sacked, he's got 2 exhausted, which means he has 40% stats taken off because it's 20% per stack of exhaust. I have seen 3 diamond Mephistos go down just as easily as 7 red Mephistos. I don't think it matters at all. Now, I will say, if you have extra diamond or extra dark promotion credits, I would say he probably goes about here-ish. I would say Captain Britain's probably still a little bit more important than him and cheaper as well. So I think he would be a better option because I think Captain Britain's only like 5,600-ish. So I would say do Captain Britain before price-wise as well. But Mephisto has not changed much from diamonds to red stars to whatever it is. We did have that orb to get a 7 red Mephisto. I did get lucky and pulled one, so I don't have to worry about this. But I know a lot of people have been asking about it. I would say put him around in this range here. But honestly, other than that, he's not really used. Next up, we've got Dormammu, and Dormammu is going to be just in front of Big Time Spider-Man. So Dormammu is definitely a utility character. He is someone that you definitely want keeping alive, but he's mainly there to put revives, mainly on the new Odin Illuminati team. So he's just mainly there to put revives out, which is just his main purpose in life, right? Putting those revives out with his passive. His ult is really nice for a rebalance, so that can be really helpful as well. But mainly he's there just to put those revives out. His stats don't matter at that point. Also, his stats are extremely old, so you probably don't want to invest too much in him. But I will put him above Big Time Spider-Man because Big Time Spider-Man does get a focus boost on his main ability, which is his ultimate, so he doesn't need the 7 reds or the stats as much. Neither does Dormammu, but Dorm does definitely benefit from staying alive a little bit more than Big Time Spider-Man. After that one turn, Big Time Spider-Man doesn't really do much. Next up, we've got Dr. Doom, and Dr. Doom is an interesting character. I've noticed I have not used him that much recently. I used him in my last Crucible because somebody put Superior 6 on defense. But other than that, I have not used Dr. Doom a lot at all. Now, I will say his stats are dropping big time. But I would say, honestly, leave him at probably 6 red. I would put him above Scarlet Witch if you have the if you don't have the yellow stars for Scarlet Witch, obviously. But if you do have the yellow stars for Scarlet Witch, you could just move her in front. But Doom, he's kind of falling off. There's a lot of things that are stopping turn meter, like Captain Britain, like Jean Grey, Mephisto with the exposed mechanic when Kahori's putting out exposed. So there's a lot of things that are stopping turn meter mechanic lately. In War, Zombie Scarlet Witch, there's so many things stopping it now. So Doom has definitely fallen out of favor, and I've noticed I've just not been using Doom lately at all. So definitely interesting seeing Doom fall off so much. I would love to see him get a rework. Obviously, I know there's a Doom Wars movie coming out, so potentially gets a rework, but I'm sure we'll just get sold a new one because why wouldn't we? Next up, we've got Apocalypse, and Apocalypse is going to be 3 diamond as well. I think Apocalypse is a shoo-in for 3 diamond, even to this day. He is going to be used pretty much forever. He's almost future-proof because his ult does 60% max health damage, so he's always going to be hitting for 60% max health, no matter what, which is always great. So if there's a character with 50 million health in 3 years, he's going to be hitting for 60% of that no matter what. So that's always going to be really, really nice, unless they start coming out with mechanics that say, hey, in one hit, you can only take up to 30% of their max health damage or whatever it is. Now, there's a lot of counters to Apocalypse, right? We have exposed mechanic with Mephisto stopping his turn meter after he ults, so he doesn't get the turn meter. Captain Britain, Jean Grey, Scarlet Witch in War. We have so many things taking him out. Kahori special puts exposed out on him, which is another combo that's really, really nice to use. But Apocalypse is still used every single day. People use him in Arena on offense and defense. People use him in War. People use him in Cosmic Crucible. He is still an Apex character. Now, I will say I'm putting him below Ultimus, not for usefulness, but I'm putting him below Ultimus economically, because Ultimus is still just so much cheaper. You could put 3 diamonds on Ultimus, and I think that's almost equivalent to the price of APOC 2 diamond, 1 to 2 diamond, if I'm not mistaken. I can't remember the prices for APOC. It's been so long, but I know his 3 diamond is like 6,000, if I'm not mistaken. So economically, I'd say Ultimus is here. Usefulness, I'd say APOC is here. So do that information what you will. That's definitely something. But yeah, that's where he's staying. APOC is still used. He's still great. He's still amazing. So I'm going to be leaving him there. And yeah, next up is Shadow King, the absolute disappointment of the Astral team. The pretty much polar opposite of what Old Man Logan was on release. Old Man Logan was an absolute unit, and then Shadow King came out, and he was just like, ha, I'm here. I do some things. I clear trauma. That's pretty legendary, isn't it? No, guess what? It's not. We're keeping him at 5 red. He is... I feel like the only reason he is as good as he is right now is because he has new stats, and a lot of characters still don't. I think that's the only reason he looks as good as he is right now. I feel like for Battle World, it's not going to matter. The Astral team is going to roll over every single node that Astral's required for, and is still going to do great on the boss node. And it's not going to matter what your Shadow King is at. In War, I can understand if you want to take Shadow King higher. I personally have him at 6 red because I had a lot of gold that I blew through for that Snow Globe store and took him up to 6 red. And I got rank 86 on the Shadow King leaderboard, so I got a lot of those materials. So I have him at 6 red, but I don't think I will ever put him at 7 red unless I have just an absolute butt ton of dark promotion credits left, and I am just whatever. It is what it is. So that's the only reason I'd put him at any higher than this, but he does just fine at 5 red. He's going to be just fine in War, especially with the passive that he just got buffed because he was terrible in War and they wanted to give him more usefulness. But yeah, I'm keeping him here. Again, I have him at 6 red. I probably will never take him to 7 red unless I have buku dark promotion credits. So it is what it is. Next up, Rogue. Rogue, if you haven't taken her up to 7 red yet, I would say probably do it. She's still pretty good. She's still a pretty good character. She's a pretty interesting offensive tool as well if you pair her with Nightcrawler in Cosmic Crucible, because then she's got a super fast trauma ability block, turn meter rewind, all the good stuff. So Rogue is still really, really, really good. I would say she's better than Big Time Spider-Man for sure. So yeah, Rogue is still a really, really good character. Still one of the horsemen. She does have old stats, but I feel like with the horsemen, they're not going to let the horsemen fall out of favor, just like with MSF originals. I feel like they're eventually going to do reworks on them. So I would love to see that. That would be awesome. And speaking of horsemen, we have Red Hulk. And guess what? Red Hulk is going here. And the reason why Red Hulk is going here is because he is such a great combo with Apocalypse. Because when Red Hulk specials, he gives, I think it's 20%, or no, it's 10% turn meter to Apocalypse, which is absolutely invaluable. It's really, really good. So he's given that 10% turn meter to Apocalypse, making him go way faster because Apocalypse is only at 122 speed. He also removes revive from the primary and adjacent targets when he's with Apocalypse, which is really, really helpful if you have a Dormammu room that you want to handle. So he's a really great character, and I think he's always going to be good. He's definitely going to be probably the only horseman that I see bringing up past 6 red at this point, other than Rogue. But yeah, he's really good, and he's always going to be good. Fingers crossed for a rework for that Thunderbolts movie, but I'm not holding my breath because imagine Red Hulk with new stats at 133 speed, smashing you in the face in Cosmic Crucible and rewinding your turn meter. He would be ridiculously, ridiculously good. So I hope, I don't know. I'm kind of on the fence. I kind of want to rework because I love Rolk and he's such a cool character. But Lord have mercy, he was going to be such a good character if he gets new stats. Next up, we've got Nova, and he's going to be just above Ultimus at 5 red. Nova, he does fine in war. He's taking out infestations. They're okay. They're fine. He has absolutely no use anywhere else, so I'd say put him at 5 red. Don't bother moving him anywhere else. After that, there's really no point at all. I'm keeping him at 5 red. As for Rogue, if you don't already have her at 7 red from back in the day, I'd say leave her at 5 red. She's also pretty useless. And while we're talking about useless, we're going Archangel, and guess what? He's even below Ultron, because Archangel sucked even on release. So yeah, Archangel is all the way at the bottom. He was always the worst horseman. Absolutely the minion of the horseman team. He was always just not good at all. We're keeping him here. He's just staying there. Yeah, he's not great. Sorry. Next up, Black Cat. And Black Cat is a pretty great character. Passively takes off. Does not allow bio characters to spawn with speed up. So that's going to be like 2099, Spider-Man Pav. All those kind of characters. Also, pretty much a direct counter to Dormammu as well, so can potentially take off revives turn 1. Also gets 1,000% extra focus for that passive turn as well, which is great because she doesn't have new stats, so the new stats that are coming out, she can still kind of outweigh those. And I'm going to say she's going here. She's a 7 red. She's a really good character. I still use her every single day in Crucible. Turn 1 trauma stun at 130, 129, 130 speed. I think she goes just after Robbie Reyes, who is 131, if I'm not mistaken. Or maybe it's backwards. Robbie's 129 and she's 131 or something around there. I don't know. Correct me down in the comment section. But Black Cat is going to be good for a very long time. She's always going to be good for that standing passive. She also spawns with 9 death proofs, so she's going to be staying alive for quite a while unless you have like Odin's Swipe taking her death proofs off quickly. She is really, really, really good. And then finally, we have Green Goblin Classic. And if you have not already upgraded him to 3 diamond, like I said back in the day, because I was an animal, I would say stick him at 1 diamond, maybe 2 diamond, because he's so useful in taking out those Odin Illuminati in general with the Vulture combo with Superior 6. So he does need to do some damage, but I'd say he's probably at the bottom of the 2 diamond, maybe top of the 1 diamond. And I'd say stop there. But that's going to be where I'm putting Green Goblin. He's still a great character, but unfortunately there's just so many characters that counter him with the turn meter, just making him not as good. Shuri, just ability blocking and taking his charges off turn 1 is also kind of a factor taking him out. But yeah, he's still a great character. Superior 6 is still a great team in War and in Crucible, which makes them really great. So I really do love Green Goblin Classic here. But this is going to be my tier list. You see a lot of 7 reds. I will say if you have all 3 of, or all of one section maxed out and 7 red, I would say just start moving to the next part down and then moving to the farthest left character. So let's say if you have 2 diamond on Old Man Logan, 2 diamond on BK, 2 diamond on Sus, then you could do that 1 diamond or 2 diamond on Green Goblin Class. You could just move him up there. But I will say, I'd say from top to bottom, this is your go-to. What I'm doing with my Dark Diamonds right now is I'm saving all of them for Captain Britain and Old Man Logan. Like I said, I am taking Captain Britain all the way up to 3 diamond. I am also going to take Old Man Logan up to 3 diamond. So that's what I am saving for right now. And after that, I am using absolutely no Dark Diamonds until Odin comes out. I will never put Dark Diamonds on Shadow King unless he gets an absolute massive rework, but I don't see that happening. I will never use Dark Diamonds on Super Scroll because, again, there's so many characters countering him, like Jean Grey, like Captain Britain in Crucible, Scarlet Witch in War, Zombie Scarlet Witch in War. So I don't see the use in Super Scroll. He has fallen out of favor heavily. But this is going to be my list. This is it. This is what I'm going with. And this is how I'm going to be upgrading my Dark Promotion credits and Dark Diamond tunes. So I hope you guys enjoyed this one. If you did, drop a comment, drop a like, subscribe down below. But until next time, this has been Duel 'em. Later, MSFers.